orchestra. Very unique. Hundreds of years ago, all great composers were performers as well. That's not so common now. I mean, Darryl's a pretty amazing performer, but he's also a composer.
Darryl Kubian has played in the first violin section of the New Jersey Symphony Orchestra since 1992. He has also been a composer. The orchestra recently premiered his first major work for the concert hall, 3-2-1, a concerto for both acoustic and electric violin.
We live in an electronic age, and the electric violin is a natural outgrowth.
How's that sound? That sounds quite enough.
I put the acoustic violin because I also wanted to bridge the two worlds.
NJSO concertmaster Eric Wyrick was the soloist, switching between his 18th century Guarneri and an amplified electric violin.
It's so fantastic for me. I'm able to access colors that I have not been able to have before.
It got me in the head, it got me in the stomach, it got me in the feet. And what I thought of, it took the best of my generation and his generation and put it together in such an admirable way. I want to kiss him.
It's amazing, amazing feeling to hear this music for the first time. And the orchestra members are so moved and so involved. I mean, it's one of theirs.
I started playing piano when I was 4 1/2, and then I switched to violin when I was 5 1/2, because I had trouble with having my mother as my teacher, and probably composed my first piece somewhere around 10 years old. And through high school I was enamored with Baroque music, so I tried to write like Vivaldi, and then it was Wagner. And I would say that it was in college that I got serious about wanting to be a composer.
After college, Kubian joined the New Jersey Symphony, developed quite a reputation for improvising on the violin, started a recording business, and began composing music for television.
I was lucky enough to submit material for a new children's series to National Geographic in the early 90s called Really Wild Animals. But that led to a whole slew of things for Discovery Channel and History Channel and many, many different kinds of projects, mainly animal related, but
the survival of some of the most amazing animals on Earth hangs in the balance. The choice is ours.
This is the first piece for large orchestra and the first piece for really the concert hall that I've ever written. So it was a double whammy. A lot of nervousness, I'll have to tell you.
The RV is really very open to exploring talent that is right there.
As an older generation of conductors, I'm not only stick with mainstream build, but I think I have to go together with time, and our time.
Exactly. That's it.
Nami Yervi first became aware of Darryl's varied talents when he heard him play the theremin, the early electronic instrument made famous in so many sci-fi movies.
Eric and my good friend Albin, who's in the symphony, they had heard me play, and they said, "Oh, the maestro has got to hear this." And I had only been playing the theremin really maybe for 5-6 months. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to play this. I'm gonna, I'll be like all over the place. But they said, no, go. And so Eric and he just sort of managed to get the maestro into his dressing room, and they just sort of pushed me in and closed the door.
The encounter led to Darryl's theremin debut with the New Jersey Symphony.
Probably 5 years ago, we were starting to talk about a violin concerto, fooling around as we walk off stage, and he said, yes, I have it in my head, I know how it's going to start with the pizzicato, and it's going to be great, and it's about the big bang. You know, he had it all mapped out.
Back in '99, I had read an article in Scientific American called The Fate of the Universe. And at the time, they weren't quite sure if the universe was expanding or contracting. But this article gave a timeline of certain things that would happen. So I said, this would make a great piece. I mean, just visually, I could see pictures with it. And actually, the beginning of the piece is a countdown to the Big Bang. His pizzicato starts the whole piece off. And you hear these 3 timpani hits. That's the countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then finally you get this, the expansion is complete, and you hear him do all these runs, which is what's called, would have been called inflation. That opening of the second movement is supposed to represent the moment of, only moment of true perfection. And here again, there's the 3 instruments, and each of them are actually playing the same theme, but they're all doing it at slightly different times. Eventually, the second movement just collapses into chaos under its own weight, and out of that the electric violin emerges on this G, and basically that's sort of the emergence of man. And there's a big electric violin cadenza. That leads into the third movement, which is called Distant Suns, and that's theoretically the moment when the universe is expanded so far apart. There'll be a moment where light from one star will not be able to reach light from another star, so basically all the stars will start just winking out, and eventually it'll be total darkness. And it's not a very pretty picture. It's not meant to be a downer.
He's shared some of his ideas with me as he was composing it, and I knew it would be great, but I didn't think it would be this great.
And we need a good pieces, good music for contemporary composers. I think this is necessary to perform all over the world.
Hearing it live and such with a great orchestra, great conductor in a beautiful hall, I mean, it was really stunning.